speak English in an absolute natural way. So that when you speak English, people will be influenced by the way you speak. When you speak English, you speak in such a manner that it appears to be your first language. That is quite easily. You're able to speak English with an ease. So adopt everything that I've told you today in this lesson. Hello everybody, how are you all? Hope you're doing great. So welcome back to another lesson of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to take up a query that is how to speak English naturally. How to speak English in a natural way. Well, naturally, in a natural way is basically speaking English with a lot of fluency, confidence, but also with ease. And I am going to tell you what it is to speak English naturally and how to achieve it. All about it in today's lesson. So are you all ready for this? I'm Shivangi Gupta, your certified English language tutor, certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And before beginning, please subscribe the channel so that you can get all the lessons that I upload for you on the channel. Please like the video and share it with the friends too. Now coming back to today's lesson, that is how to speak English naturally, in a natural manner, in a natural way, that when you speak English, you sound absolutely natural. That means you're habitual of speaking English. You are an English speaker. How to speak English like that you sound like an English speaker. I'm not saying you have to have a particular British accent and sound like a native English speaker completely. But if I say natural way is the way how a native English speaker would speak, that is, what if English was your first language? That is the only concern. So you will speak English as if it was your first language. So how to adopt it? How to adopt that speaking skills even if you are at C1 level in your English? A lot of times sounding natural in English can be difficult, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's begin with everything that is required to speak English naturally. So first of all, the first thing that I want to tell you is that be relaxed while you're speaking. You have to be relaxed while you speak. It's a very important factor. A lot of times what people do is they want to speak a lot at a single time. A lot of times people might think that, okay, I'm thinking about this particular thing and I want to tell about it to other person. I want to convey my message, what I want to say, and all the thoughts that they are having in English, they want to rush with them. Now they're doing this subconsciously. You do not know about this, that this is happening with you, that you want to get all the sentences out because you are scared that you might get stuck somewhere or you might be at loss for words. This happens. Now this is a common problem, right? Getting stuck for words in between. Why this reaction is happening? That you're speaking too fast, you want to speak everything at a single time, you are rushing your words out because of this fear. And you're not even realizing about it. So a lot of people, they don't realize that this is happening because somewhere or not, they fear this particular happening, this particular kind of problem that a lot of people face, getting stuck for words or maybe getting lost for words, what to say, what to do, what to say next. Oh, I was saying this, now what is the word that's not coming to my mind, this kind of situation, right? So if you're facing this kind of situation, it's okay, you have to relax. If you're relaxed, your body language is relaxed, and you're speaking in a relaxed manner, you speak natural, and you will be able to form correct sentences if you're relaxed. If you're overworking your mind, if you're overthinking about things, definitely you'll feel stressed, you'll feel like, what should I say, what to do? But this is not what we want to do. If you want to speak English naturally, the first thing that you need to do is speak in a relaxed manner. Think that it is inside you. Yes, you can speak English, you have knowledge about English, you speak English. So why will you not be able to do it? Definitely you'll be able to speak in English fluently. So believe this particular factor and stay relaxed and calm while you're speaking in English. Second thing that I want to tell you is that do not translate. Do not translate sentences in your mind. Now, when you translate, the spontaneity of speaking gets lost. You're speaking at a particular pace. Now, this pace gets lost when you're translating things because you're taking more time than what is required in speaking. Speaking is a free flow of words, right? So, this free flow should be maintained. When you translate, it gets opposed time and time again. So, you're speaking, then this particular wave of like opposing forces coming when you're translating, and that also shows on your face, right, with your facial expressions. So, other person is able to decipher, and then you also feel conscious about it. So, avoid translating things. You have to stop translating things in your mind. Develop the habit of thinking in English, like I say, and I have lots and lots of lessons on this, on thinking in English. What you have to do is, you have to just go check out the playlist and learn with all the lessons. So, I have demo lessons, I am telling you techniques, I have given demo on various techniques in the playlist. You can find so many lessons on thinking in English, right? So, this is something that you have to develop. You can develop this. It's not something that you cannot develop. With practice, dedicated time, you'll be able to develop it. And once you develop this particular habit of thinking in English, the spontaneity will come into your speaking. And this translation, the problem of translation, will be eradicated. So, you will no longer face this problem of translating. You will no longer be tempted to translate from your mother tongue to English. This will not happen. So, start thinking in English, go check out all the lessons and stop translating in your head. Sometimes, a lot of times, people who are able to speak in English, like for example, you are at a B2 level, let's consider that, right? If a person is at B2 level, that person might be tempted to translate sometimes. The thing is that this person can avoid translation, absolutely, yes, this person can. But that translation, like thinking first in mother language and then translating, is kind of a cushion for them. And this cushion is like kind of, that protecting you from this fear of making mistakes and this and that. It's like you are kind of mistake proofing your speaking, but this does not happen. If you think that you will translate and there are going to be less mistakes with your speaking, this never happens. It's just a thinking that a lot of people develop. But translation cannot give you error-free speaking, error-free English, because translation is never literal. It's always meaningful. A lot of times the words and the meaning, like the sentence structure, they might differ from language to language. You cannot translate it completely. So, it's always literal, meaning with context. That's why I say learn English with context, right? So, you have to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. So, the third thing that I want to tell you is, do not force when you are speaking. Do not force the words out when you are speaking. Now, forcing your words out and giving stress on words, they are two different things. Forcing means using a lot of force while you speak and pausing in between, and there can be the effort in speaking that can be seen from the other side. So, the audience is able to see that you are making lots and lots of efforts to speak, although you can speak fluently. This is just those fears, that nervousness that is pushing you to speak in such a manner. So, this is a result of that nervousness that you have to fight, and that comes with practice. But do not force words out. So, obviously, the solution is to practice speaking. You have to practice speaking in order to gain a fluency, a flow. Like I've told you, speaking is like kind of flow. The words, they have a particular flow when you speak. And once you maintain that flow, your speaking, it sounds so natural to ears and it sounds so good to ears. So, you have to maintain that flow, and in order to maintain that flow, do not force the words out. That flow also includes your pronunciation, your intonation, your stress, everything, all the components together. So, what you have to do is, you have to learn that through shadowing. What you can do is, you can take up all my guided shadowing lessons and you will be able to learn how to speak with that flow and without forcing the words out. So, shadowing lessons are for you to maintain your fluency, the speaking skills. So you can go check out all my shadowing lessons, the shadowing series that I've launched for you, and improve your speaking. Speak with a natural flow. Okay, the fourth thing and the last thing for today that I want to tell you is that do not change your accent. Now, accent is something that's natural to us. Okay, naturally we acquire that particular accent. It is related to the area that we live in, the climate, everything. Your own mother tongue affects how you speak and how you develop your accent. Now, having an accent is not bad at all. What you need to improve is your pronunciation. A lot of people might say that there are certain words that we mispronounce because of this, because of that, and that is how our accent is getting affected. So, accent can be natural. Leave your accent to a particular natural status. Do not try to force your accent to become like this, absolutely American, absolutely British. If you're moving to a particular country, a place, and then acquiring that accent from there naturally. For example, a person moves to US and the person acquires that accent naturally. That's perfectly fine because you're not forcing yourself to do it. You are acquiring it naturally from your environment. That is what I'm saying. So you have a natural accent. What you have to do is you have to improve your pronunciation and maintain a neutral accent. That is what you have to do. So do not copy accent and do not force yourself to change your accent. Your accent is yours, it's natural, it's who you are. You have to improve your pronunciation. But now pronunciation is something definitely that you need to pay attention towards, because your pronunciation also increases your fluency. Because if you're not pronouncing things correctly, it might give you a kind of opposite force. A lot of times people are not confident about pronunciation of a particular word. They'll get stuck there. They would not realize that this is happening with them. But this happens. So if you're not confident about the pronunciation of a particular word, you will feel stuck there. For example, let's take the name of the brand Chanel. If you're not confident enough, you might say Chanel, Chanel, and this and that. And that is how the fluency will break over there. So learning pronunciation is important, so that when you speak, you can say, oh, you know what, I spotted a beautiful Chanel bag. So you can speak it with a fluency, absolute fluency. So improve your pronunciation and do not worry about your accent. Focus on your pronunciation. So these were all the points, everything that you require to speak English naturally. Speak English in an absolute natural way, so that when you speak English, people will be influenced by the way you speak. When you speak English, you speak in such a manner that it appears to be your first language. That is quite easily. You're able to speak English with an ease. So adopt everything that I've told you today in this lesson and you will be speaking English naturally. So that's it for today. That is it. That was the lesson. Now I'm going to meet you again with a new lesson. Till then, everybody, take care and bye.